Fantasy manhwas present an escape from reality more than any other genres. These manhwas involve various forms of magic, supernatural powers, and many otherworldly creatures that you wouldn't typically see in other genres. But with countless fantasy manhwas available, it can be difficult for us to decide which ones to read. So today I will be recommending you all top 10 action fantasy manhwa and manhwa you need to read in 2022. So let's start a list.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Coming at number 10, we have The Supreme Way. The protagonist Lai Kang gets transmigrated to a world where everyone had the dream of becoming gods and enjoy the highest privileges in the world. However, Lai Kang had no money or talent to become a god. But after getting involved in the fight between two gods and a demon, he somehow awakens a divine will, something only the powerful gods possess. Now with finally a chance to turn his life around, he's ready to take the path of becoming a god. The art of this manhwa is average, and although it has a pretty decent storyline, it sometimes turns a bit confusing. The main character is like the cultivation manhwa protagonist who get a cheat and becomes strong quickly. The action scenes are not that great, but the way the main character deals with other arrogant side characters is pretty satisfying to watch. Coming at number 9, we have I Am the King. The protagonist Gao Ming gets reincarnated into a world full of monsters and hunters. Now he had a body with a special ability that allowed him to become stronger each and every day. Later, after killing a few transverses that came from a different planet, he finally gets a system that provides him a way to return to Earth. The art of this manhwa is pretty decent, and although its story is a bit confusing at the start, it gets better after a few chapters. The main character is super strong from the start and later gets the ability to transverse to different planets. He's a bit shrewd and uses everyone around him to achieve what he wants. Coming at number 8, we have My Werewolf System. After the discovery of new fossil that belonged to the ancient beast that used to roam Earth, scientists were able to find a way to alter humans. These altered humans had the ability to shift and change parts of their body to mimic the beasts. The protagonist Carrie was a high school student who wanted to become an altered human but didn't have the funds to do so. However, everything changes when he gets a new werewolf system that guides him to become an altered. This is a really unique system manhwa with a unique world building. All the characters feel realistic and human-like, especially the protagonist and his best friend. The development of the characters is also good, and the decent fight scenes will keep you entertained throughout the story. Coming at number 7, we have Reincarnated as a Fish. Yushin was the president of Sejong Group who gets backstabbed by his boss and gets thrown into a lake. But just after losing his life, a mysterious voice calls out to him, and later he wakes up in the body of a newly born fish along with a pop-up window in front of him. Now he must do everything he can to complete the system mission and become the strongest fish in the lake if he wants to meet his family once again. This is a really unique manhwa with good art and storyline. Its story might seem a bit weird at the start, but the good execution of its plot and its great world building makes this manhwa really interesting. The main character is really weak and has to go through many challenges in order to survive against powerful predators. So if you want to read something new and unique, then this manhwa is definitely for you. Coming at number 6, we have Night Under Heart. Lee Yushin was a high school senior who skipped school to try out a new VR game as a beta tester. However, he gets trapped in the ultra-realistic game world where he was forced to fight for his life in an endless loop of death and resurrection. Follow him in his journey as he struggles to survive in the hellish battlefield and find a way to log out. This is a pretty good VR MMO manhwa. Its story is good and its art is just great. It shows the development of the main character as he goes from a naive young boy to a commander who leads an army of soldiers. The side characters are also nice, and the way they react to different situations make them a bit more realistic. Coming at number 5, we have Metro Hunter. After unidentified monsters took control of the metro lines of Seoul and brought chaos to the city, a system of hunters were dispatched to deal with the monsters and their dungeons that had formed all over the city. This is the story of a hunter named Kang Cheol who goes on a journey to find and kill a really strong monster called the Master of Fire. The story of this manhwa is good, and although its art is not that great, it becomes pretty good during the fight scenes. The main character is overpowered from the start and hunts most of the monsters without breaking a sweat. The villains are also well portrayed and they have a strong motive behind whatever they do. So if you are a fan of Dungeon and Monsters manhwa, then I'll recommend you to give this one a read. Coming at number 4, we have Hero killer. The world was in chaos with constant wars breaking out between heroes and villains. With the constant clashes between people with superpowers, no one was safe and the heroes who were meant to save innocent people abused their power in the name of justice. This is the story of a lone girl who sets out on a bloody path for revenge against the fake heroes and carry out true justice against the evil of society. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is great. The main character is an emotionless anti-hero that hunts heroes and kills them without any mercy. The side characters are good and the fight scenes are really detailed despite being a bit flashy. So if you like manhwas with ruthless main character, then you will definitely like this one. Coming at number 3, we have Troll Trap. According to folktales and mythology, trolls were wretched monsters that ate humans and played pranks on them by swapping their children with a human's child. However, all of this was hard to believe for the high schooler Ji-yoon, who recently noticed something wrong with her little sibling. Join her as she, along with the hunter Harte, goes on an adventure to hunt trolls and save humanity. This manhwa is a hidden gem. Its storyline is great and its art style fits its plot really nicely. The main character is strong from the start and keeps getting stronger as the story goes on. The action scenes are thrilling and the side characters train the main character to make him even stronger. Coming at number 2, we have Plus 99 Wooden Stick. The main character was a loser both in real life and in the VR game Chrono Life. Later he gets used and killed by his team members and even loses all of his equipment while enhancing them. However, his misfortune ends as he gets a wooden stick with maximum enhancement that had the power to kill anyone that come in its way. The story of this manhwa is great and its amazing art style gets even better as the story goes on. The main character becomes overpowered and unstoppable after obtaining his weapon and sets out to take revenge on the one that had killed him. The action and the comedy scenes of this manhwa are also quite good and they will keep you entertained throughout the story. Coming at number 1, we have Reincarnation of the Veteran Soldier. Sergeant Kim was an army veteran who was about to be discharged soon. But 3 days before his discharge, he passes away due to an accident during an obstacle course. A goddess presents him an opportunity and a chance to live in a different world as a hero, but after making a mess in front of the goddess, he gets punished and gets thrown into the new world without any skills. This is the story as he struggles to survive and becomes the greatest devil of that world. At first, this manhwa feels like other generic isekai manhwas, but after reading a few chapters, you'll come to know that it's way different than the others. Its art is pretty good and its amazing storyline is filled with plot twists. The main character uses his previous life's experience to get an upper hand while fighting his enemies. The side characters are also good, and although the story has a lot of comedy scenes, it sometimes turns really dark and emotional. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.